Hey there, friends. Welcome to the Comic Kaiser Show. It's great to have you here today, and it's great to have yet another fantastic guest with us today. Today, we are coming to you from the town of Cedarville, Ohio. What a great place. And today, our guest, he is technically from Warrenville, Illinois, so he's kind of from out of town, but he attends the university. He graduated from, this is a long one, Wheaton Warrenville South High School. Try saying that 5 times fast. Currently attends Cedarville, actively pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Finance and minors in Economics, Spanish, and Biblical Studies. Not like actual minors. He's actually pursuing Rose Anthony, just got engaged, so that's good. That's good. Congratulations on that. And we both actually have this in common. We both actually, according to some I saw, we both competed in forensics for a short amount of time. I think you competed in high school. I saw SpeechWire. Did some things there. I did not know that. But we both were also on Cedarville's track and field team. His role is he likes to pole vault and all that stuff. So I'd like to introduce Tommy Ansiel. Tommy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Wade. Thanks for having me.
Donata, my pleasure. All right. Well, are you ready for the warm-up?
Yes, sir.
All right. Nice. Fill in the blank. Compared to Vine, TikTok is...
Trash.
Oh, really? I didn't know you were much into Vine.
I'm not. I don't like either.
No?
Nope.
You don't even like TikTok?
Mm-mm.
Don't you?
It's bad for the world.
Don't you have a TikTok?
No, I deleted it.
Oh,
Oh, the
okay.
account's still out there. But
Oh, okay. I just assumed that you did because, I don't know, a stereotype? I don't know. All right. Say a word in Spanish.
Sacapuntas.
Puntas? What is sacapuntas?
It's pencil sharpener.
Oh, well. I'd assume since punta was in there, it would have been something else, but okay.
Mm-mm.
All right, now we're getting to some audience question territory. I like to shoot out a poll for audience questions. First audience question comes to us from Garrett Reinhard. Who is your favorite roommate?
Garrett, because he does the dishes.
Fair enough. That's a good way to become your favorite. All right, next question. This one comes from actually my sister, Morgan Kaiser. She's asking, is cereal soup?
Yes. But I've also heard the case that it can be salad.
Salad?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Have you seen the Vsauce YouTube video? You should watch it.
I know of Vsauce, but I've not seen that one.
Yeah.
All right. This one comes from Chris Landadio. When's the return of Renata? Did I say that right?
Renita.
What is that?
We've had some talks, probably postponing it till 2021. We'll just see what happens. I'm just kidding. It's never coming back.
But what is Renita?
Renita was a 2 YouTube video channel wonder comprised of me, Noah Arquetti, and Ryan Caleb Emerson. And yeah, we filmed 2 videos. We published 1, and yeah, that's it. It's dead now.
I'm tempted to ask why it's dead, but it's up to you. All right. Got a few more. This comes from Hallie Cole, someone I went to high school with. She's asking, favorite YouTube video? Would it be the Renato one?
There's a lot of YouTube videos. I watched one today. It was the best NFL fails. It was pretty good.
Which one was the best fail?
Just people zigzagging their way back and forth on the field, trying to get into open space, and then ending up in their own end zone and getting a safety.
Do you do any of the fantasy football stuff?
Yes, I have 1 team this year.
Are you winning pretty good?
I think. How many weeks there've been? I think I'm 3-4, so it's not the best.
You're making some progress.
Yeah.
I know at my work they're doing it, and I'm not too knowledgeable in sports, so I just auto-drafted mine, and I beat one of my bosses, so that was the best part, that I beat him with an auto-drafted team. I make sure to rub it in his face.
That's good.
What about your favorite TV show?
Right now, Rose and I have been going through Monk, so that's my favorite TV show. It's pretty clean.
Romantic.
And it's not a very romantic show. It's about murder, so.
I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, We're through like 3 seasons now, so
There you go.
yeah.
All right. What about, do you like, or chicken on pizza? What's your opinion? Usually that's pineapple. What about chicken?
Depends on what else is with it. Like chicken bacon ranch is good.
How about
You
chicken
can
barbecue?
Yeah, that'd be okay.
Mm,
Or chicken and sriracha. I think that'd be my favorite.
copy that. All right. What's your favorite pun?
I don't think I have one.
Do you even know what a pun is?
Yeah. If you gave me a couple, I could probably choose my favorite.
All right. If you're dating someone who, or if you're dating a man that doesn't like fruit puns, you should let that man go.
That's my new favorite pun.
Is it really? Oh, all right. Someone wrote a biography about you. What do you think the title should be?
The story of Tommy Ansel learning to trust God.
Oh, okay. At least you got. I thought you were just gonna leave it at the story of Tommy Ansel.
No.
It's like, wow. Okay. Well worded. What's the most interesting place you've been?
I've been to the most southern tip of the United States, which is in Hawaii, I think. There's a green sand beach down there. It's one of 2 green sand beaches in the world, and it was pretty cool.
Have you ever been out of the country before?
I have. I've been to the Czech Republic, Slovenia, Mexico, and Canada, and then a couple of layovers in Europe.
Been all over the place. What's something amazing you've done before, but no one else was around to see it?
I used to do a lot of bottle flips. Sometimes people were there, sometimes they weren't. In high school, there was this pipe in the ceiling about like 20 feet in the air, and a round pipe, and I did a bottle flip. It landed on top of the pipe.
I find this hard to believe.
It happened.
It happened.
Yeah. It was.
It didn't fall off.
Somebody knocked it down, so the proof.
They're the worst,
Yeah.
and nobody saw it.
Yeah.
What's a song you have completely memorized?
The national anthem.
Oh my gosh. I'll give you that one. That was a good dodge.
Thanks.
Who is someone you'd let punch you directly in the face?
Rose, if she was mad enough.
Oof. Fair answer. Okay. If you could turn any activity into an Olympic sport, what do you think you'd have a good chance of winning a medal of? And you cannot say pole vaulting.
Good. Because there's a different kind of it's not a Olympic event, but it's where you climb a pole. It's like a 30-foot long pole.
Pole dancing?
No, it's a pole in a river, and you jump onto the pole while running, and then you climb up the pole to see how far you can get in the sand. I've seen it. It's not an Olympic event, but I think I'd be good at it.
You think so?
At least it looks fun.
It goes to do it. Oh, no. Or maybe. Never know. Only one way to find out. All right. Got 2 more questions for you. Did OJ do it?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Because there's evidence.
There's evidence. All right. Sounds good to me. What is the best compliment you have ever received?
Oh, shoot. I have a list of them right here. Let me see.
All right. Let's see
I'm
it.
kidding. I don't know. It's a hard question.
If you'd listened to other episodes, you know I ask everybody this question.
Sorry.
Oof.
Should have done my homework. I don't know. Should I
just say something?
Okay. I've been complimented on my piano playing skills before.
Sounds good to me. All right, if that's considered your greatest compliment, then so be it. All right, well, thank you very much, Tommy. That was a great warm-up, and thank you, audience, for listening so far. We'll be back after a brief commercial mention of our sponsor, and then we'll hear a bit more about Tommy Ansel.
Richard Head here with another amazing product. With all this coronavirus that's infecting our country, we've discovered a cure, COVID-X. With our patented blend of herbs, spices, and dish detergent, it's guaranteed to cure not only coronavirus, but COVID-19 as well. Watch as COVID-X cures my own personal case of COVID-19. Cough, cough. Never felt better. But wait, there's more. Order within the next 90 minutes, and you get a free case of Covich absolutely free.
Warning, side effects may include but are not limited to vomiting, increased sickness, dying, and worst of all, everyone knowing you're an idiot for drinking toilet bowl cleaner. COVID-X is not for everyone, or really anyone when you think about it. Call your doctor if you are actually considering taking this product, and when we say doctor, we mean psychiatrist. Don't take COVID-X if you actually have coronavirus, COVID-19, or any other disease. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's great to have you here and having a fantastic conversation so far. Now we're going to kind of dive deep, as I like to say. So I kind of wanted to start off with this, some familiar ground between us. So I was just kind of looking around a bit, and I don't know. Usually before an episode, I do a quick Google search on people, just type someone's name in, and we'll see what comes up. And I came across some post results for something that you and I have in common. It was stuff on SpeechWire. I thought it was fascinating. I was like, I didn't know he competed in forensics. Like, I don't think you ever told me, and there's probably reasons, but I was like, oh, well, I got to ask him about this. If that was the right Tommy, maybe I'm completely mistaken.
So I competed in speech sophomore year. I did dramatic duet acting, though.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't know what forensics is.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, yeah. So forensics is speech and debate. So
Okay.
if someone says forensics, it's a reference to both, because forensics is pretty much the process of analyzing data, statistics, and in this case, interpretive events, and analyzing them and then kind of communicating a message to that. So in college, there was duo, in which two people would act out a skit to kind of achieve communicating a message. So usually in college, I'd see plenty of pieces on someone getting raped or someone dying or some kind of social justice issue. So I hear high school's a lot different, though. So I'm curious, what piece did you perform? I assume it was the same piece for the whole year?
Yep. Yeah, so by the way, our team didn't have debate, so it's just called speech team.
Yep. I didn't do debate. I just did
Okay.
speech. There is a
Gotcha.
debate team here, just in case you were wondering. But anyway, go on.
So me and my partner, we did an excerpt from Of Mice and Men, and I was George. Are you familiar with Of Mice and Men?
I should be, but I know I've heard of it. I'm not too familiar with what it is, if that makes sense. Like, I've heard of it. I just haven't actually analyzed it before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's I probably don't know it as well as I should, but it's about George and Lenny, and they do work on farms, and Lenny's really big and dumb.
Oh, you know what? I saw a Family Guy episode on this recently. I know what this is now. Okay, yep, go on.
Yeah, so spoiler alert. Maybe should I do a spoiler?
You know, if they haven't seen it by now, it'd be like if we started talking about Avengers Endgame. Like, when it first came out, if you spoiled it, you deserve to get your butt handed to you. If you spoil Endgame now, you should have seen it by now. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, this is like 100 years old. So, Lenny strangles a lady, and because he just wants her to be quiet, and he's sensitive, and he didn't realize what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of other guys that want to kill him because he killed this lady. So George has to shoot Lenny to make sure that the other guys don't get him. So
Wasn't he like counting the stars or the grass or
yeah,
something?
the rabbits.
The rabbits,
Yeah,
not the mice or the men.
I don't know why it's called that.
I don't either. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it, but yeah, as I said, I think I saw a Family Guy episode on it, and I was like, oh, I was told it was pretty accurate to what the book or movie was on. So you only stuck with it 1 year. You didn't like it. I don't know. I don't get to talk. I don't meet many people who do track and field and a bit of it. So whenever I can, I relish in the moment.
Yeah, I don't remember why I didn't do it. We had to sit in and around, like 3 or 4 other groups would go, and I was in dramatic duet acting.
Mm-hmm.
And what's dramatic? Really depressing things. So I just remember sitting in there. It's all like murder
Yep.
and yeah, just terrible things. And you're like listening to these people screaming at each other, and you walk out of there and you're just like really stressed out, and you're like, what just happened? Like,
Oh man. Those-
so I didn't like that aspect of the event, how everything was just terrible.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, there's like more humorous ones, but no, I've definitely seen a few where it's like, I don't know. I heard of this one. I didn't see it, but apparently there was someone on my team that saw it. It was like with a cow or something. Like this guy moved to a town. He was of more of like a homosexual nature, but since he was out in the country, he couldn't like do anything with anybody. So he like basically sodomized a cow or something. It's like, why would you like what like? So there's some interesting ones out there. I guess college gets a little more interesting. But yeah, no, when I was in it, I did more of like impromptu, extemp, all that. I don't know
So
if you
the legit ones.
the legit ones. I wasn't very legit at competing, but I wasn't very good. But yeah, I was more up that alley. I occasionally did like another event. They called it ADS, after dinner speaking. It was like a humorous, persuasive piece. It wasn't very humorous or persuasive. Have you ever told a joke to a crowd of 2 people and no one laughs? It's like, ugh, this is so awkward. It's like that was supposed to be hilarious. So, but I'm sure that was. I don't know. I just figured I just always find it interesting. It's like, oh yes, someone who was in track and also did that. Like, there's not many of them out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, like the structure of it, I'm curious. Like from what you remember. Again, you probably don't remember much from this, but I'm just gonna hammer at it because why not? While we're still on the subject. So for the prelims, did they have like 2 rounds of prelims and then finals, or do you remember any of that at all?
I think it just depended on the tournament. Yeah, I remember some it'd be like 3 and then finals. So we'd have 3 rounds
Mm-hmm.
each. And if you got like a 1-1-1, that's like a picket fence, and then you go to finals. Or like, yeah. But
Was
yeah,
there more than 6 like people that competed in each turn? Like, does that make sense? Like, did you have to break into finals, or did everybody
Mhm.
automatically go?
yeah, most of them you had to break into finals. That's funny. That's speech team lingo.
I
break
know,
into
right?
finals.
It's true.
Forgot about that. Yeah, my first tournament actually, it was like a mixer, so it was like freshman and sophomore and junior and senior all competing against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my partner got to finals, and we were surprised, and then we actually won. We won the tournament, and then the rest of the year we like did kind of average.
Mm.
So
Yeah. Well, was that novice or was that varsity?
it was a novice varsity mixer. See, those are the terms.
Yes. See, I did have that written
Yeah.
down. So if you told me otherwise, I'd been like, oh, really?
That's
No.
funny.
Yeah. They had 3 rounds of prelim breaking to finals. Was that the only event you competed in? Did you do anything else?
That was it. That was my specialty.
Dang. I was hoping for more other events and stuff. I mean, Interp is still a very like good event, but I was hoping for some limited prep on there. It's like, I assume they had that. I don't know. Did you watch many of the other rounds?
Yeah, I would sometimes. Yeah, they had impromptu and extemporaneous speaking.
There you go. Yes.
And OO, like original oratory, right?
That's a
then-
high school thing. I don't know what
Okay.
that is.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the one where you just get to write your own like funny whole like 10-minute skit. I would sit on those.
Gotcha. Yeah, because usually my understanding is like there's 3 types. There was the dramatic interpretate or interp, which is what you did. Limited prep, which was more of what I did, and then there was there's just like public address, which is the more. So basically, you did the fun stuff. I did all the political stuff. So if you want to talk politics later, I don't know if I'd be very good at it these days, but wasn't very good at it in the tournaments. But oh well.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all good. I learned a lot. It definitely helps. Like I talk at work a lot, and even moments like this, I'm much better at it because of it. So comparing the events. So did you have like any anxiety attacks before you'd go up and compete? I don't know, just curious. He's like, oh gosh, I'm so nervous.
I would get really nervous. It was all like we'd wake up and have to get to the high school to catch the bus at like 4:30 in the morning.
Sounds
so
about right. Yep. Then you're
It's-
there
you
all
don't-
day.
you're too tired to be nervous.
Yes.
I remember in 7th grade, I was Huck Finn in Tom Sawyer.
Oh, okay.
That was the most nervous I've ever been in my life.
Like just like a junior high production of it.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
that I was literally about to run away.
Oh, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna run
And
away.
just not do it. I was so nervous. But
Yeah.
so I guess maybe that prepared me for speech to be less nervous.
Yeah, or heck, even just track and field. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing how you can kind of translate experiences to other things. Did you do anything else? Did you play like baseball or anything, or soccer? Or?
Growing up, I did. I played baseball for like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Played soccer till 3rd grade. Played football starting in 5th grade until freshman year. Then I tore my ACL. Did gymnastics. Probably like 7 years.
So you just did like everything.
I
Ugh.
wrestled for a year.
Really?
Did you find that in your research?
I did not. No. Well, when'd you wrestle?
6th grade.
I don't think your Facebook went back that far.
Yeah.
Ain't that weird. Yeah, no. I actually wrestled for a year as well.
Really?
That was like 1st grade. It was okay. It wasn't very good. Yeah, fun fact.
Nice.
So wait, you played baseball and then what? You tore your ACL and then you decided to get on a pole and start going over things? Is that what went down?
Yep. Well, so I was freshman football team. I returned a kick return right before halftime, and so it didn't matter because time was expiring while I was returning it. And I just got tackled from behind and twisted
Oof.
me down. And so just tore my ACL. And then one of my coaches was the head track coach. And I was just like, well, if I can't play football because there's cutting and contact, then
Mhm.
I'll try and go for straight ahead running, which is track and field. And then my gym coach, my gym teacher, he was the head girls coach, and he said since I was a gymnast that I should try pole vault. So that's how I got into pole vaulting.
Gotcha. So what kind of things did you do as a gymnast? You do like the balance beam or the donut rings or something?
I did not do the balance beam. The balance beam is a girls' event.
Your point.
I am a guy. And then I did the rings. I did all the guy events. So floor, pommel horse, P-bars, high bar, vault. See that? Vault carry over into pole vault.
Oh, okay.
And
Can you-
floor.
Can you do a split?
I used to be able to do a middle split, but I can no longer.
Gross.
Yeah.
I can, just thinking about it, I can feel things tear. My legs. What'd you think I was talking about? All right. 'Cause I know there's some stuff in the pole vaulting and stuff we'll get into in a bit, but I don't want to jump ahead too quickly. So you did all that. There's something I want to talk about too. So you were in show choir, I think I saw.
Oh man.
So what is that? Like, do you like? Is it like a group of people and you like dance and sing? I'm curious. I was looking. I was like, what the heck is this?
Was this your first exposure to show choir?
No, I'd seen it like a while ago, but
Okay.
never said anything.
So show choir, disclaimer. It's not what people think of it. It's not like Glee. It's
Glee Club.
yeah. Yeah, it's like 40 people on a stage dancing and singing with a live band playing in the background behind them, literally. And you do songs. And like in high school, sometimes there's like a story that goes along with it, so it's kind of more like a musical. But yeah, mostly just dancing and singing.
So what kind of story would we be talking about here? Would it be like, I don't know, I'll just let you kind of feel. I don't want to take a guess and be wrong. So what would be an example of a story?
So really anything. So one year we did Chicken Little. And the stories sometimes are dumb. One time we did Teen Wolf, but it's just like a theme, not really much a story. there was a Cinderfella, which is
Cinder-
Cinderella,
Who's fella?
but it's a dude.
Dude version?
Yep.
Oh, that's what they call him? Okay.
Yeah. And then Wizard of Oz, just stuff like that.
Interesting. No, I didn't know what it was. So it's always kind of neat to see other things that you think you know everything about what's out there, then you see other things like I didn't know that was a thing. So the more you know. What, that was like a school event or something?
Yeah, it was probably my main time commitment in high school. We had 2-hour rehearsals Mondays and Thursdays. And then, in season you do like 4 to 6 competitions where you go. It's kind of like a speech competition. You go and you perform once in prelims, and then you go to finals and compete, and then it's like a whole day event.
Did you win?
My freshman year, we were good, but I sat out all of it because I had a torn ACL. So we got second in our first competition, then we got first in our next 3.
There you go.
Sophomore year, our director left, and he was really
Oof.
good. And we had a new lady come in, and we were still good. We didn't win. We won like maybe once or twice. And then the next year, we got a little bit worse. And the next year, we got another director, and we got even worse. So we just had a declining trajectory.
Some devolution going on there. Isn't that great when it's like, oh, it's getting worse as I'm getting older?
Yeah. It was rough.
Oh, well. Hopefully they're doing well now.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's been a while. It's hard to keep up on things like that, especially once everybody from there graduates. It's,
Yeah.
well, why bother? All right. So you said that your best compliment was playing the piano.
Yep.
So
I'm sticking with it.
is that the only instrument you know?
No. Actually, I know the box drum, which your computer's sitting on right now.
That thing?
Yeah. I picked that up because I led worship in my youth group, and we needed a percussionist, so I asked for it for Christmas, and I got it, and then I just learned it.
Ooh la la, okay.
Yeah, and I know how to play guitar, which is behind you, and then bass, because bass is just the first 4 strings on guitar.
It's all the same pretty much, right?
Yep, basically. And then
Basically.
I played the cello in elementary school, and I can kind of play the drums.
What about the recorder?
I can make it make sound.
Oof.
But
Oh, man, I was hoping. You see those videos where it's like they go to play the music from a video like Jurassic Park, and then it like plays the recorder version?
Is it a bad version or the
Yeah,
actual
a terrible
version?
version.
Then
No,
yes.
nobody's seen the real version. All right. Okay, I just want to kind of dive deep into that. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't know. I felt like asking about the musical instruments. Why not, right? So I guess we're gonna, kind of dive into kind of what we both then been thinking of the whole time. Literally wearing a shirt pertaining to it, and it's probably what everyone asks you about, right? The whole pole vaulting thing, right? We got, likes to get up on them poles or whatever. Want to try to word that in a PG way. So I know a lot of people probably ask you about it. So I want to start off with this question. What's the most annoying question people tend to ask you pertaining to pole vaulting?
I don't think there is a most annoying.
And annoying? Cliche.
There we go. Usually when I tell people I'm a pole vaulter, they say, "Oh, I could never do that. I'd be so scared. I could." So that's usually what people say. Is they'd be too scared to do it, and it is scary. So I'll give them that.
Gotcha. So what other events did you do before that? I assume you probably sprinted a little bit, maybe.
In middle school, I ran the 100, the 4x1. I did long jump and triple jump one time, and then high jump too. But then in high school, I only ran one race, and that was a 55-meter dash with one other person from my team in my heat.
And how did that go?
I dusted him.
Turned him to dust.
No, it was actually a pretty slow race. But I did win, but it was slow.
You remember what your time was?
It's like 7:45.
Honestly, I can't even remember if that's a good... You said 55?
Yeah, it was slow.
I don't even remember what a good 55 time is, to be honest. That's terrible for a sprinter, isn't it? It's been so long.
Sub 7 is good for a 60, and then minus 5 meters, you'd think it'd be much faster, but so it was really slow.
Let me see. Let me pull up my notes. I'm going to just, if it's a bad time, because I have my PRs in here. Oh, 6.75. Is that good? Probably not.
For 55?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that good? Okay. Well, that's what I saw in my notes. I probably shouldn't read the other ones. Might get a little awkward. It's like when you start reading your PRs off to someone, they're like, cool. Oh, okay. Okay, so you did a bit of sprinting and all that. So you mentioned that the girls coach who was the gymnast persuaded you?
Gym coach.
Gym coach? So like
Or
gym class teacher?
Yep.
So you had PE with this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was like, "Hey, you
Yep.
should do the pole vault." Is that hard on the ACL?
Not now. It's good now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. I was just curious if there was an angle to it or not, because why not? So what would you say was the moment in which you kind of started doing it, and then it's like, because I assume it probably takes a few times to actually get over the bar. Would you say was that moment where you finally literally and figuratively got over the bar, where it just like clicked?
Freshman year, you transition from, or like when you first start pole vaulting, you transition from a straight pole to a bent pole. So when I first learned that was a big hurdle. But going from sophomore year to junior year, I was stuck at 12.3 was my height. I couldn't get over that. But then junior year, I jumped up to a PR of 15.7. And it was really just form.
Form?
Yeah.
What kind of form? You just like approach it differently, bend your knee a certain way? It's probably hard to describe.
Just at the top of the vault, straightening out, and just being in a better position to utilize the force of the pole.
Have you ever impaled yourself?
I've come really close.
Snap a pole?
I've never snapped a pole.
Really?
I know. I kind of want to, but it's
so
dangerous.
What's the difference between a straight and a bent pole? Like, hopefully that doesn't sound like a dumb question, but like,
No,
is it bent
it's just,
before?
Yeah, it's just where you hold the pole. So you do straight pole drills. You just hold lower on the pole.
Oh, I thought that was like the type of pole.
No,
I thought they were all straight, but
yeah, no.
okay. Never mind. I didn't want to make that joke. So what was I gonna go with that? I had something for that. It's like an archer. Oh, I feel like I had something for that. Okay. So kind of did all of that, hit your PR junior year. Yeah, I assume you probably competed in a state meet. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I assume, right?
I did. Junior year, I was seated. I don't remember what I was ranked, but I got 9th. So I made the podium. Actually, I was just next to the podium, but I choked. My PR was 15.7. I had a strained hip flexor.
Oof.
So I had nothing to lose, but I cleared a bar, so I was happy.
At least there's that. How, like, going from high school to college, how would you say that transition was? Because, I mean, did you go to a D1 school? Like, what was or does your state do it differently?
Illinois does AAA, I think. Yeah, they do.
Like,
Yeah.
where they get your car, or?
No, like, single
anybody?
A is the worst, or like small schools, and then AAA is the bigger schools.
Oh.
So, yeah.
You were AAA.
Mm-hmm.
What was your graduating class size?
Like 600.
Okay, all right.
Something like that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds D1, AAA,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Okay, sounds about right.
Yeah, and I was in a slump for my senior year of high school into college. So I wasn't clearing even close to my PR. So during that time, it was just really good. I had to not put my identity in my ability to pole vault, because if I found my worth in my ability to pole vault, I would have felt worthless because I was not pole vaulting as high as I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So rooting myself in Jesus and knowing that I have worth because I'm, created in the image of God, and that, like, because I believe in Jesus, that
Mm-hmm.
my like life after death is secure. That nothing can take that away, even if I'm pole vaulting bad.
So you're telling me that since I don't know how to pole vault, I'm burning in hell after I die?
No.
Oof.
No. If
What if that was the standard? I'd be done.
No, don't.
Oh no. All right. So, how would you say? We'll dive into that just so you know. How would you say, kind of your expectations for kind of how, because this is your senior year, right? Okay,
Mhm.
just around the corner. So sometimes, or usually, at least for me, there was a heightened sense of responsibility, heightened sense of expectation, because this is your last time around, at least in undergrad. Although last year you have another year of eligibility, don't know what your deal or plan is with that. I guess if you want to share with, I don't know, are you going to grad school at all?
I'm not gonna go to grad school. I plan on getting a job, mostly because I'm gonna get married. So I feel like I should have an income, and yeah. So I could have come back and pole vaulted another year, but I decided not to.
If your kids don't know how to pole vault, will you disown them?
No,
Oh.
I'll let them do what they want to do, unless it's bad.
Well, good answer. Good answer. All right. But yeah, there's kind of a heightened sense of responsibility in your last year, or maybe lack thereof. Usually it's one side of the extreme or the other, but I assume you're probably edging more towards the heightened sense. How would you say is your mindset different going into this year as opposed to previous years?
Like with like responsibility and seeing what's next
Let's focus on track
for track.
and field. I always call it just track. You're
Oh,
technically
for this next season.
yes.
Got it. So,
This is like Tommy's preseason speech, so then you can look back and be like, this is what I said I wanted to do.
yeah. I would like to go to the Olympic trials. Lord willing. The standard I have to hit is like 18:10. I haven't double checked that. Yeah, and so because of COVID, the Olympics got pushed back, so obviously the trials did as well. So I'm like a foot and a half short of that right now. More or less like 10 inches if you take the highest I've ever jumped. So I want to make it to the trials. But you know, if it doesn't happen, that's okay. You know why? Because my identity's in Christ and not in my ability to pole vault.
There you go. I'm trying to research what the mark is on here.
It's hard to find.
It really is.
Yeah, I think it's like 570.
570. Flow track is giving me a bunch of
Or
random
575.
articles. Oh, I do not want to watch this video.
I think it's 1810. But it's not, yeah.
I'm curious. I'm dead.
Okay.
When I'm like set on something, I go for it. Wait, 575? No way. Qualifying standards. Fat is the only method of timing acceptable. It's submitted at blah blah blah. That's timing. Yeah, I thought I command F POLE 575. That's what it says.
Yeah, so that's about 1810.
Gross.
So it's pretty high.
Yeah, you're gonna get pretty high. Come
Nope.
on, no, I'm
Nope.
just kidding. Nobody's gonna laugh at that. Oh, I thought it was funny. All right, so that's kind of what your goal is, criteria of what you're looking for. So, but yeah, my next question was gonna be, what is the criteria you are using to grade the quality of your upcoming season? I assume, is that it? Anything else?
You know, it doesn't matter how high I jump, but you know, it just matters that I give the glory to God and like how I compete too. So sometimes that can be, you can honestly, it's easier to honor God when you lose, because when people lose, they get angry, throw a fit. So like everybody kind of gives glory to God when they win. You know, when you hit a home run, you point up.
Oh,
Say,
okay.
oh, thank you,
Because at
God.
first you said it was easier to give glory to God when you lose. I don't know if you saw my squint. I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, maybe, but I was like, go on, explain.
So not maybe easier, but it's more, people notice it more, I guess,
when you,
that is genuine. Yeah, because back to like not having my identity in winning. I can give glory to God and say God has given me this ability to pole vault, and thank Him for that. But when I lose, it's still a gift to be able to pole vault. And I don't. It's not like God owes me or anything to give me the win, but just being grateful for the opportunity and the gifts He's given me, even if I lose.
Fair enough. So you talk in these kinds of terms and stuff. I kind of want to dive in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this mentality doesn't just come from anywhere, or if it does, then kudos to you for reaching that conclusion on your own. I want to ask you this. Who are some mentors or role models you have looked up to bring you to your current physical, mental, and spiritual status? I assume you've probably had some people to influence, or if you want to look at it negatively, contaminate you to think in this different kind of way. So
I'll do one for each. So physical, Brian Shaw, strongest man in the world. He's not actually a mentor. He's just the strongest man in the world.
Sure, an inspiration nonetheless.
Yeah. But I don't want to be as big as him because then I couldn't pole vault. Mental, that's tough. Maybe my dad. We're pretty similar. He likes theology. He's a banker.
Is that why you decided to major in finance?
It's big part. And then spiritual, I'd say there's a lot for spiritual, so I'm gonna do more than one if that's okay.
No, I'm just
No.
kidding. I'll go for it, please.
Nick Connor, my youth group pastor from back home. Pastor Daryl Worley. He's my head pastor back home. Scott Van Meter, he was a small group leader that I had. And Dr. Kauser, who's a professor at Cedarville.
So do they you actively engage with them to date?
Yeah, some more than others.
Sure.
And they've all had their roles throughout my life. But yeah, just going to them for advice. They've all have had a hand in bringing me where I am today and just pointing me to God, because God is the one who changes me. And they can advise me and stuff, but yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I want to ask you this. I'm going to see if I can punch you right in the nuts with this one. We'll see. So you are a Division II national champion in pole vaulting. I can't take that away from you. This is achieved with your 17-foot, 7.25-inch. That's a PR, right? According to TFers, it's a PR, right?
Yep.
Okay. So it's a big accomplishment. How do you deal with the pride and temptation of it that comes with an accomplishment like that?
That's a good one. It's realizing that the ability does not come from me. So I could parade around and say, wow, look at me. I won the B team national championship, as opposed to D1. And say I'm the best. But in the end, God has given me this ability. He gave me the opportunity, placed me where I'm at in this world. Open doors. Every ounce of glory that I've earned is all because of Him. So I can't take credit for any of it.
Copy that. So in sports, generally, it's a generally accepted concept, and I would agree with this concept, that success gives the victor kind of the social currency to stand out amongst their peers. Usually it's like, okay, you win, you do that, people will kind of gravitate towards you. I want to kind of take that the other way. I'm kind of curious how you'll answer this. In what ways do you think the social status you've achieved from vaulting has alienated you from others, and what do you do to compensate for it?
Well, we're getting deep here.
Ooh.
Sometimes people don't think they're on my level. Like, yeah, it's hard to describe. There's a lot that goes into like the dynamics. But I think that's people misplacing or like having a misconception of what gives a person value. I don't think my value comes from my ability to pole vault. So if that does happen, I don't notice it too much. There's sometimes, but I just think they're misplacing or not seeing somebody's value coming from the right place. I think it comes from the fact that we're all created in the image of God and not that I'm a national champion.
In what ways have you felt alone because you're a national champion?
I don't think I do.
You don't?
No.
Interesting. All right. Just curious. So you mentioned something about dealing with disappointment and stuff. So for me, and I'll make this kind of comparison, so I'm not just mentioning myself in this to mention, but there's a reason. So for me, we talked about speech, so it was kind of neat how I was able to kind of bring that in as a conversation. So speech, I was not very competitively successful, but I never took any like disgrace or shame in that because I never broke through. So it's like I never had my breakthrough moment, so I didn't care that I was that bad, you know. However, like in track, I'd have my moments where I had my occasional breakthroughs, so I took more kind of a pride in my work. So if I lost in track, I took it a little harder than in speech. You mentioned something about disappointment earlier, so I'm kind of curious on any details and any specific times you can think of and what you've dealt with disappointment in yourself or anything.
Yeah, I'll talk specifically about pole vault. Sophomore year, I mentioned I was stuck at 12.3, clearing that. And basically after every meet, I was just so mad. I didn't want to talk to anybody.
Was it sophomore of high school or college?
Sophomore of high school, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, sophomore of college, I was clearing much more than 12.3.
Yes.
Yeah, so sophomore year of high school, I just put so much pressure on myself to, be better and win. And when I didn't or didn't improve or, I think every meet I basically had an excuse to be mad. And that's because I think pole vaulting was an idol for me. And I think I found my own value in my ability to pole vault, so if pole vaulting isn't going well, then I don't feel like I'm valuable and I get upset and like I just want to do better because it'll make me feel good. But that's not the right way to approach it.
Fair enough. So if I took away your ability to pole vault for the rest of your life, it'd be the same old Tommy.
I would hope so. I would be tempted to not. I mean, it'd
be hard.
If I got paralyzed, like
I'd stick my pen right in your kneecap right now.
Yeah, it would not be fun, but
no, it'd be hard. What about this is an interesting one. I was Googling questions to ask Christian athletes and came across this one in my mind. So I was like, so we'll see. Have you ever prayed for your competition?
Like my competitors?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've had a couple gospel conversations with a few of my competitors. So praying that more of those happen and that they're receptive to hear what I have to say. I've only prayed, yeah. So sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. You pray with them?
I don't think I've ever played with them.
That's okay. I never did. So I know sometimes I'll see I think the girls cross country guys were really good about this. I noticed that they would in the big huddle or something. So sprinters are just like, okay. Oh yes. So I don't know. Sometimes as an athlete, I would think about this as well. Sometimes I get caught up in my own attempt to be successful, it's easy to forget at times that your competition has a relationship with God as well. And that at the beginning of the race, like, so I don't know if you've ever noticed, like, your competition praying as well. I don't know if you've had any thoughts on that or anything like that. I don't know. Have you ever thought of, like, a competitor having a better relationship with God, and if they were if they beat you, then he'd be glorified? I don't know. Have you ever had that thought before?
I have. Sophomore year, I was beat by a guy who went to Bethel, and Bethel's Christian, I think. Yeah, so that did cross my mind. Any competition, whatever the Lord wills, will be done. And if it's not God's will for me to win, then that means I can glorify him in different ways and honoring him even though I lose.
Gotcha. And then this one, I don't mean this in any, like, I've seen this or anything like that. I'm just asking a facetious question that I ask myself occasionally as well. Do you ever think your success as an athlete has made another athlete doubt their faith? This is like polar opposite of your goal. I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I sometimes ask myself that, like, oh, like, because I beat this person, or maybe I got beat by them. Like, I don't know. I felt like just asking that, like, kind of just prying at the thoughts and thinking in ways that we normally don't think.
Like, if I beat them, they'd feel bad about themselves and then
maybe, or
doubt that God loves them.
Maybe. Or maybe I'm a terrible person. I don't know. I'm just getting your mind open into thinking in that direction.
That you're a terrible person because you beat them?
Maybe. Or maybe I'm a terrible person, then I beat them. I don't know. I just want to get your thoughts.
No, I don't think that has happened. I guess it could, but I haven't talked to anybody who's said that is the case.
All right. What about yourself?
Has anybody beating me?
No. Like you, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess that could kind of go back to your, sophomore year you mentioned about taking identity in it. I don't know. Maybe?
I don't know if that was a direct cause of me doubting my faith. On this side of it, I realized, it made it easier to see that I was making pole vault an idol, which was taking the place of God in my life. So not directly doubting my faith, but not having God in the place of my life that he should have been. And that could, but even if I was winning a lot, then, it would still be an idol. So I don't think losing, was correlated to that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're kind of getting into that stage where it's kind of getting to the wrap-up part. I want to ask you this. So we've talked a bit about faith, so I got this simple question. Articulate the gospel for me in the audience. We talk about how this is everything, so you should have no issue doing that, right?
This is everything. The gospel is that I am a sinner. I'm human. I make mistakes. So it could be a mistake as big as killing somebody or a mistake as little as lying. It's all sin, and sin harms our relationship with God. And because of that, we can't be with God and we go to hell because of our sin. But a long time ago, 2,000 years ago, almost exactly, God sent his only son, Jesus Christ, to earth, who lived a perfect life and then died, taking the sins of the world, all the sins that we commit, on himself, dying, and then he raised back to life, beating death and making a way for us as people to be saved from our sin and to be reconciled to God, to actually have a relationship with God. So if, as humans, we confess our sins and we ask God for forgiveness of our sins, God will forgive us of our sins, and then that relationship can be restored, and then we can spend eternity in heaven. That's basically the gospel.
What was your first point of contact with the gospel, and how has it changed you?
First time was sometime when I was an infant.
Like usually, I assume you come from a rather biblical background. A lot of people who attend Cedarville tend to. Usually a lot of testimonies I hear here are, oh, I heard it when I was younger. Yeah, I just didn't want to go to hell. Then I really experienced it.
Yeah. I grew up in a Christian home. I went to VBS, heard the gospel, and they were offering Dairy Queen coupons for anybody that got saved. So obviously that was me. But I didn't actually understand or believe truly, I don't think, the gospel, or that I didn't realize that I was a sinner and that I needed to be saved from my sin. So I got free Dairy Queen. And my mom was happy. I was happy. And then, high school is when I actually, I think, put my faith in Jesus, because I realized I was trying to be a good person on my own and was trying to beat my sin, but that it didn't work, and it just produced bitterness and failure. But really, I just needed to stop trying to be perfect and be good and just ask God to forgive my sins and trust Him.
Sounds good to me. All right. Well, thank you, Tommy. It's been a great discussion today. And great to have the beloved audience here with us, for those who have listened this far. To wrap things up, based off of today's conversation, or maybe just life in general, what is one final piece of advice you have for our audience today?
My piece of advice is delete your social media and don't spend too much time on your phone, and don't watch porn because it's really bad.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Nice quality burp.
Thank you. Do you have any additional shout-outs you'd like to give to anybody before we wrap this up?
I'd like to give a shout out to Andrew and Tyler Reinhard, because they're good housemates too, even though I said Garrett was my favorite. And Joe and Luke. And shout out to Dr. White for doing a great job leading Cedarville.
All right, sounds good to me. Well, thank you, Tommy. It was a great discussion we had today. And thank you, audience, for listening in. And, well, like always, have a nice day.